Hello there everyone, this is Soul Super 17 here, and let me just say this, I did not own this picture, and this is a non-paid video. Okay, I know some people have been dying to see this video, or just really want to see it, and so, I was gonna wait, because in this video, there's gonna be some demon slayers are gonna be beaten down, like, Tanjiro is a one-man army. That's what a lot of people are getting figured out in the Demon Slayer core in this video. Okay, alright. Also, someone I think watched my first video and gave me some ideas for it. For like a different cremation style. I'm using them as a basically with the nose, with not him using any sword, just his hands. So it's just cremation style. Alright. Not cremation breathing style. Okay. I'll tell you what it is. But yeah. So let's get into this. This is what if Tanjiro had cremation part I forget, like 6? Yeah. 6. I just shut off my fan because I don't think I need it. Okay, but yeah. Alright, as Tanjiro is ready to fight Ruri, as he basically asks her, Ruri a question, just like saying, he goes like, so, who was that? That girl that ran off. You said something about she failed you, and Ruri just says, why does it matter? And Tanjiro says, oh, well, because after I kill you, she's next. As Tanjiro, when he said that, he has eyes closed, and then all of a sudden, when he opens his eyes, he has like a little blue glow to them, which kind of surprised Ruri. He doesn't understand what's happening. He goes, but he does say, he goes, that's my sister. She failed me, so she got punishment. And then Tanjiro just looks a little pissed off. He was like, so you punished her for failing you, for killing us? And Ruri just says, yes, that's why. As then Tanjiro just starts laughing as he gets out of the stance, and basically Ruri goes like, why are you laughing? And Tanjiro just says, because you're just a child and a demon body. You lost something, you're trying to regain it. And that's so funny. I'm gonna end this quickly. And all of a sudden, Tanjiro's body is just in fire, and he goes, flame bursts, as he just suddenly disappears, and Ruri doesn't understand what's happening. He's looking around and goes like, where is he? Where is he? And all of a sudden, he feels multiple slashes, like he's gonna hit multiple times, being cut. And he's not even using any water breathing technique. He ain't even using no cremation breathing style. His cremation breathing, he's just hitting Ruri. Basically, it was just slashing. He even like has a little freaking needle in Ruri. He's only slashing just to make sure he can get him distracted and he doesn't feel his blood, being like drained. So as soon as it's done, Tanjiro just grabs that little needle and then just disappears. And then the cat appears. So then puts it back in. He goes like, "All right, take it back to her." As the cat leaves, basically, as if Rui goes like, "Where are you?" Basically just yelling that. And then Tanjiro comes out right behind a tree and goes like, "I'm over here." You really are slow. As then Rory just uses his thread and just try to hit Tanjiro. Tanjiro just slashes. His physical strength, he's been trained to, control his cremation, so technically he is stronger. I have been showing off his strength. He's able to pick up a normal human being. He is strong enough to cut through Ruri's strings. But he does have a hard time, though. He can't cut it completely. He has to put a little bit more. He has to do it with 2 hands instead of 1. So, yeah. And Tanjiro is just saying, I was like, is that all you got? As Ruri says, impossible. My strings are able to cut through anything that's harder than steel. And then, well, Tanjiro just says, my sword is a mixture of metals. They're able to handle a temperature higher than normal. He goes, what do you mean? And then Tanjiro just says, oh, I'll show you. As in, he just does this. The sword suddenly goes on fire. As in, basically says cremation style. First form, breathing technique. As he makes the circle to summon his, sword. You all know it, but it's cremation style fire sword. Warriors then just shocked to even see this. He was like, what's happening? And Todd just goes, oh, easy. Your punishment for hurting somebody you call sister. Because a brother doesn't do that. And then Tanjiro just blitzes towards Ruri as the fire swords just start flying towards him. Each one he's trying to hit, the strings are getting burned. And one hits him, he basically he jerks back a little. And then another one's about to hit him, he jumps backwards. But then in midair, another one hits him in the leg. And they're just immediately disappearing. But it does do a quite significant damage because they do burn him a little. That's it. But he'll heal from it. But it's gonna hurt. It hurts a lot. As in, Tanjiro summoned about like 10. So basically, 5 out of 5. 5 hit, 5 miss. So yeah. And Tanjiro then just basically running for a worry. As then he says, cremation style. As he has his fist closed. And then he just punches Rory and says, Fist of Fire Dragon! And then it explodes, sending him flying. Tanjiro basically says, I guess that really was too much for him. For being honest, a lower pillar, he was kind of weak. And basically, Tanjiro, walking away from Rory, because he thought he blew off Ruri's head, basically. No, Ruri survived. But Tanjiro thinks this, so he walks over to the box. As then, he sees Nezuko comes out behind the tree. And then she walks over to him. And she hugs him. And he goes like, I'm alright, Nezu. Alright. Nothing bad happened to me. Just another weakling here. As then, all of a sudden, Tanjiro feels the hatred from Ruri. He goes like, never mind. You gotta, and then he gets pushed out of the way, and Nezuko gets hit, by Ruri's strings, and then he says, as Tanjiro then gets up, he says, Nezuko! He runs over and, catches her. And he goes, are you alright? Nezuko, are you alright? Basically, she nods, and then Ruri says, who is she to you? As then Tanjiro says, she's my little sister. You hurt her. Now that made me mad. As then Ruri says, I want her. She's my little sister now. As then Tanjiro, you can see the veins popping out of Tanjiro's head. As he basically puts down Nezuko, he just tells her, stay here. I'm gonna end this quickly. As Tanjiro basically summons out This is basically his cremation style. And I changed the name to Summoning Fox. I'm gonna be calling it Spirit Fox. As he basically says, as the fire is coming to source his cremation breathing style. You know, um, something for it. It's been a while. Give me a minute. God. Sixth form. Yeah, Spirit Fox. As then multiple foxes come out of the fire from the sword, and he just tells them, sick him. As they run towards him. While this is happening, Zenitsu meets up with trying to meet up with Tanjiro and Inosuke. But he sees blue flames as he's rushing over to Tanjiro's location. He sees, when he gets over there, he sees a girl at Tanjiro's arm. He goes, "She's my sister." He hears that and he's like, "What?" And then the guy, and then Rory says, "I want her. She's mine." As then Tanjiro, Zenitsu can see Tanjiro physically angry. He wants to know more, but it's like he doesn't want to get in the way. So while this fight is happening, Rory asks, "So, how did your sister become a demon?" And then he tells him how he found her and his family. Basically, his family slaughtered. His sister, the only survivor, by being turned. And he vowed to find a cure for her. She hasn't eaten no human, and she never will. Because I won't let her, he says, and I'm not gonna let you ever take her away from me. As these spirit foxes are, being like swept away side to side, and Rory's just defend himself with his strings. Basically, he had to use blood art on the strings to make sure they wouldn't be burned through. But, so Zenitsu hears this. He's shocked to hear Tanjiro's carrying this burden on him. He says, "Is that why he's so cold sometimes?" Or basically, like, he acts like he needs to put everything on him. So Zenitsu is about to come out, but then Inosuke holds him and says, "Not yet. We gotta see what happens." And Zenitsu says, "How long have you been here?" He goes "For a little bit, but hey, just gotta wait. I need to see how much Tanjiro is stronger than me so I can surpass him." And Zenitsu nods his head. Tanjiro has just been toying with him as Rin, not Rin. Okay, I don't know why, I'm just ruining. Oh, give me a minute, I need to remember his name. Okay, it's Rory. Basically, Rory has a smile on his face, which Tanjiro is looking at him and was like, "What? Why are you smiling?" As basically, Rory says, "Well, you've been focused on me. I got your sister." As then Tanjiro sees Nezuko up in the air, which he's saying, "Nezu?" As he says, if you don't die by my hand, I'll kill her right here, right." And then all of a sudden, Tanjiro's body just gets engulfed by flames. As it bursts, the top of the trees around them are being covered in cremation. As Tanjiro says, "You hurt my little sister. You're gonna pay. And I'm gonna make sure I make you." As then Tanjiro basically goes into the, use the breathing technique, 10th form, 10th or 11th form, water dragon. Basically The same thing he does in canon. Sorry, my apologies. But yeah, same thing he does in canon. What's happening, Rory does exactly the same thing, but, but Tanjiro has a sword as he's like swinging it rapidly, as then he, basically starting to get engulfed by the red, red string that Rory made with his blood, basically. As then Tanjiro remembers what his father told him, about the sun breathing technique. Father Tanjiro telling his son, teaching him, and he remembered what his father did. As he then smiles and goes, I remember doing this. He's thinking to himself, he goes like, who knew this actually was a breathing form? And I guess, all of a sudden, he does exactly the same thing he does in canon. It goes basically, he goes right through the red string, and he just keeps on going kind of right through as it's all on fire, basically just normal fire. As Rory's like terrified, and same thing happened with Nezuko. She does get the explosion blood, her explosion blood thing. As pardon me, sorry. I did not know why I'm so tired. It's not even 12 o'clock yet. But, okay. I'm gonna try to keep myself awake, so bear with me, please. But yeah. So, basically, Tanjiro gets Rory's head cut off. Same thing happens, like, Rory cut off his own head, he says. But yeah, so, right when Nezuko does fall down, he runs over to her real quickly and asks her if she's okay. And then next thing you know, Rory then grabs Tanjiro by the arms, and he still has a sword. And he's like holding up Tanjiro and just saying, like, you really think you can cut my head off? My head's harder, than steel. Well, basically, because I think he said it. Not even steel can cut through his neck, but I'm making it way more hard than his, thread. So, I'm making it like, if he cut off his own head, but he'll be able to still live on. He'll just have to reattach it. So yeah. Okay, as Tanjiro just looks at him and goes like, "Why won't you just die?" And then Rui puts back on his head and says, "Because I want your sister. She's gonna be mine now." As then he just said, as Nezuko's about to come over and punch him, as then he dodges and just tells her, he goes like, "But first, she needs to learn some discipline." As then the same thing happens, he starts hurting her, but it just pause real quick. These are not real characters. Okay, I'm just saying what happened in canon, but I'm changing the order of it. All right, so please understand that, viewers. Please understand that. Okay, if you're little kids, I would just say look up Demon Slayer, and you'll see. All right, but if you're like 6, 8, maybe even like 10, don't watch it. Wait till you're like 11 or something. Okay, all right. Want that just get out of the way? But yeah, as Tanjiro just starts, he's basically just getting physically mad, as he just tells Nezuko, "Nezu, get out now." As Nezu just immediately sees this look of pure hatred in Tanjiro's eyes, as she just gets out of the way as quickly as possible. As the fires are still going on, as then on the trees, as then next thing you know, the fire starts to go into Tanjiro's hand, which is shocking Rory. Tanjiro just says, "My fire is a part of me. I can control it so easily. It's like it's breathing to me. So, I only got one question to ask you, Rory. or should I say, you foul demon, are you ready to meet the flames of God? As Ruri goes, what? What do you mean? It's basically all of a sudden, when the threads come off of, burn off of him, Tanjiro's whole entire body is engulfed in white flames. Just note, the marks that he has on him already will not be reburned. Those are resistant. Most of his body will be resistant because of this. The only where he's gonna get it is gonna be on his neck, all the way up to half part of his mouth. So it's the exact same thing where Dabi has and his ears. Yeah. As he lands and he looks at Ruri, his eyes are fully glowing blue. White flames with blue eyes. As basically, the more flames from the trees are just being absorbed by him. They're coming into his body. Basically, this is just it. This is where Tanjiro just runs towards Ruri, jumps up in the air, and then next thing you know, he's holding out his left hand right behind him as he says, "Say this!" As in he just makes a huge burst, going using everything that he just absorbed, going down. The flame from his body, it looks like it's a shooting star coming down towards him, as he has his fist engulfed by flame and says, "This is the flame of God. I hope you enjoy how it tastes." And when he punches him, he says, "Fist of the fire dragon, K!" and just blows up a bigger portion. And this is where, give me a minute, I need to go back. I remember Rui's name. I did not look up his name at all. But yeah, give me a minute. I gotta look up the guy's name. As basically Gyu is coming into view as where Tanjiro does it. As there was basically, it's not just he punches Ruri in the face and it's makes an explosion. No, it's an explosion of fire just shooting up into the sky, into in a form of a dragon. As Tanjiro's basically, his sword is in the air. As he just jumps up and grabs it. And it's just, as he just says, basically, this is just a cremation style combined with a breathing form. Because this is how he's just controlling it. So basically, it's just really cremation style, but he's just using the sword to control the flame. Alright, okay. And then he says, "Now, here's what the real power tastes like." And then he just swings the sword down where the dragon, coming right toward Ruri. As Ruri's thinking, I can break this. And then he just, uses the red string as he's using his ultimate technique. Or it just starts swirling around as it tries to go forward. But next thing you know, the dragon is going right through it, hitting Ruri, as it's just basically burning at him. And he's healing really fast, but it hurts a lot. But then through this, Tanjiro is actually moving with the dragon, and then he just slashes at Ruri, and then he says, "Cremation, breathing form. Breathing form. Third form. First strike." As then he just cuts off Ruri's head. Because his flames went to pure white, his clothing was burned, and this is just a higher dense flame. So it was a long period. This was not, even though it was a short period of time, this basically hurt Tanjiro. It did hurt his arm still, but it hurt his face more. And his sword and clothing are burnt. As Q, is seeing all this flames everywhere. The trees are back on fire. As Tanjiro just then is huffing a puff because he used way too much. Even though I have basically had him be able to do it. He was putting so much power into that explosion, make that big wave of fire go up and then turn into a dragon, and then he had to basically use another cremation breathing form in an instant. So this took a lot out of him. As he's just huffing and puffing, he goes, "Alright, I gotta put out the fire." And then he swipes his hand, and the fire just disappears. And Q says, "Tanjiro, what was that?" As he says, "Well, I took in fire that I already, had the trees become on fire as I pulled it right back into me. I was condensing that into a higher, strong fire, which was white. And basically, I killed a demon. It was a pillar. The Hashira should be happy." As in, Q says, "But that's all by yourself? That was dangerous, Tanjiro." As Nezuko, does come over, run into him, as he pets Nezuko's head, says, "I'm alright. I am." But as he looks at his sword, says, "It looks like I'm gonna need a new sword." As just then, Tanjiro smells somebody coming. This is Shinobu. As when he smells her scent nearby, she's nearly on top of them. And wait, give me a minute. I need to remember the girl's name. I'm gonna just call her Kano. Kano. Because I cannot pronounce the first name. So basically, it's if you see in the fight, you have to worry. The girl that has the same butterfly pendant, but it's orange. God, I gotta give me another minute. So Goku Kano. I do not know if I pronounced her name right, but yeah, just look up Demon Slayer characters. All right, okay. Yeah, she even come in. Tanjiro pushed Nezu out of the way with him. He just jumps forward. As Q says he'll take care of Shinobu. He basically, just stopping her. She kind of, tells Shigoko? Alright, yeah, Shigoko? You have to take care of the demon with him, that's with him, right? Tanjiro basically, Nezu. And, she tries. Tanjiro says, "I'm not gonna let you touch my sister." As basically he grabs Nezu brow side and he says, "Cremation style." Flash flame. As basically, he bursts through the forest, moving really quickly, which in those cases, in shock that this is faster than what he thought. As they were all in shock, but he was not. He says, "That guy keeps on getting stronger." As basically, Shinobu tells all the Demon Slayers to watch out for a guy that's moving really fast. Basically, what Tanjiro. As this happens, he keeps on have to do short bursts because he's over exhausted himself, so he's breathing really heavily. As he also has the box with him. As he tells Nezuko, saying, "As soon as we get down the mountain, I'm gonna drop you off and fight them. All those Demon Slayers, they're coming after you. I'm gonna fight them all, just so you can try to get out of here." Nezuko is shaking her head as he says, "Listen to me. I'm not gonna let you die. I promised you that I'd protect you, right?" As she nods her head and goes, "That means I gotta do what's right, even if I have to sacrifice myself to save you, little sis." As he says, "Alright. Let's do this again. As he does it again, the flash burn, or I know I'm just, flash burst, as basically he's just going really quickly down the mountain. When he does, he'll get down there. He basically tells her to go. This is far enough as I can go. As she's nodding her head as he backs away, and all of a sudden, he just pulls up his hand as Cremation's coming out of the ground, as he says, "Go, Nezu. Live free. Get stronger. Find Muzan. Make sure you make him pay." And then a whole bunch of demon slayers, come right on time. I see when he turns around and goes, as they say, "Step aside. We need to kill that demon." As Tanjiro just says, "That demon's my sister." And then one of them says, "That ain't your sister. That's a demon that needs to be slain." As Tanjiro just says, "Well then, you just have to come right at me then, because I'm gonna tear right through all of you." As he gets in a fighting stance, he has no sword, only his bare fist. And he goes, "I haven't done this in a while. This is gonna be fun." As they all rush towards him, and this is about 150 people fighting just Tanjiro. Tanjiro just doing a war cry, rushing towards them. He's throwing kicks, he's throwing punches, he's using cremation. He does cremation style 1,000 birds as they all fly around them, hitting them. As he then even throws one towards another one. He's even like cremation style. He does cremation style dome, cremation style burst, cremation style dragon. He's just doing whatever he can. He's fighting all of them. These people, he's been fighting them for a good long while. And Nezuko has just been trying to get to Tanjiro. And what's the love Hashira? Give me a minute. As Mitsuri, is just rushing to the mountain. As she's saying, like, "I gotta move faster. I gotta keep, moving." She's been, trying to get there. As basically they heard about, like, Tanjiro was, like, there too. And so, I think I made her know about Nezu, but she will in this one. She will in this one, if not. But, yeah. So, she's, let's just say she has a feeling like Tanjiro, he's the one who said he had a sister and, all that. She knows something's up, but she didn't want to ask any more questions because it was kind of, personal. So, yeah. Actually, just hoping he's okay. As we got back to Tanjiro, like, not Tanjiro, we cut to Gyu, who's basically fighting off Shinobu and Kona, being trained by Shinobu. So, as they're fighting him, and Shinobu says, "Why are you fighting, why are you protecting him? He's a traitor. He's protecting a demon." And he says that demon hasn't even killed anyone, eaten anyone. And then Shinobu says, "It's only a matter of time?" As she, as Gyu says, "What's wrong?" As they look, like, Shinobu looked to her left, Gyu looked to his right, and Kona just was right next to Shinobu. So she looked as they see Tanjiro, just heavy breathing, being cuts on him, basically bleeding. As he just says, "Is that all you guys got? I can fight. I can still go on. I ain't stopping." As Zeo says, "What is he?" As basically he took down already 50. There are 100 still. He says, "Come on at me. Show me what you're made of." Something they're saying, "Is he really a human? I don't know. But we gotta end this. We had to kill that demon that's being protected by him." As, they rush forward, as Tanjiro's in and out of consciousness, as he just hears, keeps on hearing, says, "Don't stop. Keep fighting." As this just awakens the flames, within Tanjiro, as they start bursting off of him, as he just starts screaming, "Ah!" as he just starts dead into the people. As they keep going, punching and kicking. Everything's just starting to like explode in fire. Getting tossed, punched. Tanjiro getting slashed, but still going. This isn't shot. A mere rank 3 taking on all these people at once is impossible. And then Tanjiro just says, as he just punches the ground, and says, "Cremation style, earth eruption," and then it just starts fire just started coming out down and basically blowing fire out. So making like a volcano. As the guys are going like, put it out. As the guys are trying to put it out, which they do have. It does take a while. So some of them are getting like 2nd-degree burns. As Tanjiro is basically like playing more exhaustion, and he's just like limping towards some. I was like, come at me, come on. As they go, what is he? Is he a demon or a human? They're breathing heavy because they don't even know what he is. Because this look, it's just Tanjiro's body starting to get covered in fire. Blue eyes are being shown. As they say, let's end this. And they say, yeah, as they rush forward. And basically, Yu's about to run over. But then they hear the raven says, do not hurt Tanjiro or Nezuko. Bring them to the manor of the Demon Slayer core, which they nearly stopped just in time before Tanjiro did something terrible. Cremation dome. They would have been burnt to a crisp. So yeah. As Tanjiro says, just like, luck is on my side. As then when he falls backwards, the fire, dissipates. As Nezuko runs over, as Mitsuri was already there, as she runs over to Tanjiro, as she starts shaking him to be awake. But it's like he won't, he's just too tired. So they do exactly the same thing. Excuse me. Take him over to the Demon Slayer core headquarters. But Inosuke and Zenitsu saw everything. They saw the way Tanjiro was fighting. They saw basically him kicking butt. And Zenitsu says, I gotta get more stronger. I can't let him outdo me. As Inosuke says, yeah, anything he could do, I could do better. And basically, just go right to training. As Tanjiro basically was waking up, he was, where am I? Because he was hearing voices. As he sees the Hashira, I'm not gonna go through them all. Then he sees Mitsuri, he goes, hey Mitsuri, what's up? As Mitsuri says, nothing much. You says, tied up, tired, sleeping, so. Ooh, sorry. As basically everyone, talking kind of ripping into Tanjiro, as before the headmaster, not the headmaster, the boss comes out, as everyone bows to him besides Tanjiro. Tanjiro just tells him, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, guys, but why am I tied up? Tanjiro's just asking them. They say, well, you're gonna be on trial. Okay, sorry, I kind of was dozing off right there, so please ignore that, but basically Tanjiro asks, and is kind of wondering what himself, as he then asks them, why is he tied up? As they say, you're on trial because you're a traitor of the Demon Slayer Core. He goes freak you all. As then, the boss comes out, as he tells them that he was giving Tanjiro special permission to do this. And then Tanjiro says, about, and even like you, like, said, like, his sister hasn't was even gonna eat him, and right when he saw it, and then, like, even, like, the guy that's, give me a minute, as, okay, yeah, as Tsunami comes out saying he can't, like, he doesn't like this kid, all that, as then, he says he pulls out a sword, he, like, stabs Nezuko right in the shoulder, as Tanjiro says, "You're gonna pay for that. Nobody hurts my sister." As all of a sudden his body just goes back into flames, and all of a sudden he bursts right past him, grabbing the guy's sword and Nezuko in the box. As then he's like basically saying, "You really want to play games with me, huh? I don't want to take human life, but if you're threatening to hurt my sister, I will make sure you pay." As the guy's like looking at his hand, he goes like, how did he get my sword? How? That's impossible." As the two girls, hold on, Kiria and Konocha, tell their father what Tanjiro did. As then he says to Tanjiro, "It's a pretty impressive power you have there, Tanjiro." As he goes, "Yeah, so what?" Then he asks, "Don't you want to know how you got it?" And he goes, "It's like you can tell." As then he sees an old man coming out. As Tanjiro goes like, "No way. I think I did bring this guy in, so yeah." So as the old man says, he just starts laughing. He goes like, "Didn't I tell you I was part of the Demon Slayer Corps, child?" And he goes, "You're an old man back in that town." He goes, "Yes. I'm also the doctor that basically cured your mother of that disease while she was carrying you." As Sandra goes like, "So, wait, you're the doctor?" He goes, "Yes. And it seems you have a little bit," as then he holds out his hand, fire comes off of it. He goes, "Of my power." As Sandra looks at him and goes like, no way." As everyone's in shock, and he then informs Tanjiro that this man is an ancient demon. Right around when Muzan came, a demon himself. But this one has never been able to eat any humans. He has been always eating human food, living a normal life, but also being hunted down by other demons and humans alike. So, and plus he's a doctor, so he's helping out in certain cases around here that cannot be explained. Please understand this, everyone. This is the best doctor, around. I do hope you understand that I do not, hold anything to have towards me personal, Tanjiro. As the old man, telling him. As Tanjiro just says, "Wait." He goes like, "Wait, so you're a demon who doesn't eat anything? No human flesh, no blood, nothing?" He goes like, "No, just normal food." Basically, I'm an outcast in both realms. So yeah. And also, you also have regeneration. As he does come out of the sun, and he's not burning, which surprises everyone. He goes like, "That's another thing I had. I became so strong the sun doesn't bother me." But, anyways, Tanjiro, I've been watching you after what I heard happened to your parents. I have seen you grown exponentially fast. How is that even possible? As Tanjiro just looks at him and squints at the doctor and says, "Easy, I train a lot." As the doctor laughs, says, yes, I can see that." So, he basically, says to Tanjiro he'll tell him everything if he needs any more questions. So yes, as he, leaves. everyone's like saying we should kill the guy, but their boss tells them no, leave him be. He's a fine doctor, and he has never even attacked any of the staff here. He's a kind person. As Tanjiro just says, "All right." So that's a awkward situation I had there. So he asked the headmaster, basically the boss of the Demon Slayer Corps, as he goes, well, he was a human who was turned, so I guess you're half demon and human. And then he just says, oh, okay, that explains the whole entire. Never mind. As that caught Papyrus's attention, he's wondering what happened, between them, but he's not gonna pry. So yeah. Okay, everyone. I do hope you enjoy this. I'm sorry if it's so short. I'm just starting to doze off, but I wanted to give you a video, so please understand. I hope you guys do like the video and enjoy wherever you are. If you're just like outside, enjoy the weather. If you're not, enjoy your good night's sleep or anytime. Anyways, bye everyone.